Welcome to the Daily Energize podcast, where you'll get a jolt of energy and a quick tip to help you conquer your day. Now here's your host, the Prince of Positivity himself, Spencer Jones.
What's happening, Energizer? Spencer Jones, the Prince of Positivity, here in this episode and all 900-something episodes of the Daily Energize. Thank you for hopping in and joining me in this podcast, in this episode that's geared to help you live your life to the max and, get that jolt of energy, quick tip, all those good things. Now, today's episode is a little different than other ones. Like we've talked about getting back in yesterday's episode. I might share specific tips and all that for mindset, personal growth, etc. Today, I want to talk about inviting people. Now, one way you can take it is, invite people to join the Energizer family, invite people to listen to the podcast, right? To subscribe to the Daily Energize or to join the Energy Hub. Yes, do all those things too, right? By all means, do that. I can't talk apparently. We would love to help more people. So yes, invite them to all the things we do. Please, I would appreciate that. But that's not the reason why I picked inviting for today's episode. I picked inviting because, how many times have you invited somebody to something that has benefited you? You've reached out and you intentionally invited them to it. Maybe it was in person or the phone, maybe it was through a text or email or message or whatever, however you communicate. When was the last time you directly invited somebody to something that benefited, that you enjoyed and benefited you, that you believe would benefit them? Now, yes, of course, it could be one of the things at Jones and 4, right? It could be the podcast or the Energy Hub or our summit or whatever, yes. But what about other things? What about to that group that fills you up with love and joy? What about inviting them to coffee or dinner, or inviting them to, a book study? What about inviting them to a party you're giving? When was the last time you intentionally invited someone to something? And specifically something that fills you up. Or maybe it's inviting somebody to read a book. It doesn't have to be anything crazy or big or expensive. But when was the last time you invited someone? And even thinking, let's break it down even more. So, we talked about inviting them to dinner or coffee or the podcast or books and stuff like that. When was the last time you intentionally invited someone to share a positive with you? Or invited someone to do a kind act for others? When was the last time you invited yourself to be you? Hopefully, recently. If not, that's okay. But when was the last time you invited someone, including yourself, to do something that you felt was beneficial? Now, we're going to add another layer to this real quick. And that other layer is, when was the last time you invited someone to do something you thought was beneficial, that, helped you and you believe would help them, without expectations? Without expecting anything from them. Like you'd hope. You'd be like, cool, I think this would help you. And, you can kind of hope that they're there, but we don't expect them. I don't expect you to, show up for all these things. You might not expect them to do it. But you just release expectations. When was the last time you made an invite out of the goodness of your heart without expectations? I don't know about you, but that's a tough one for me. I'm not necessarily great at that. That's something I'm working at. I'm getting better with for sure, but I'm not great at it. So I know this is a different episode. We've had a little different episodes lately, but When was the last time you invited someone to something? Well, if you haven't done it recently, heck, even if you have, I invite you to do it again. To do that today or this weekend. Invite one person to do something that you feel would be beneficial to them because it's helped you. Maybe that's, again, it could be a podcast, it could be reading a book, it could be just having a sip of coffee and being present with one another, having a conversation. Maybe it's inviting them to spread some joy to others. Something to think about. All right, that's all I got for today. Invite, share love, share kindness, and together we'll make this world an even more positive place. All right, I love you and I appreciate you. Until next time, I will catch you later.